Hi, this is Brady with Vickery Motorsports, and today we are at the Cordova Compound Pit Bike Race hosted by Factory Mini Bikes. We're going to be walking around today, watching some races, interviewing some winners, and generally just checking it out. Awesome, let's get into it.
Alright, so round one of the pit bike races at Cordova Compound is officially in the books, and it was a good one, super fun from start to finish. Cordova Compound is the one running this whole series, and they've been doing an awesome job carving out a space for grassroots pit bike racing in the area. It's not some big flashy organization, it's more community focused, and that's exactly what makes it special. This isn't about sponsorships or point standings. It's about giving riders a place to show up, rip some laps, and be part of something that actually feels real. You've got people out there purely for the love of it, to race hard, work on their bikes, and just have a good time. Practice kicked off at 11 and ran until noon, and even though it was just technically practice, the track was alive the entire time. Riders were out there dialing in their lines, scrubbing jumps, figuring out corners, and unfortunately battling with the wind. It wasn't just a light breeze either, it was super windy. Tents were getting picked up, flags were flying sideways, and everybody just kinda had to fight through it. Even the dust was getting thrown around in spots, making visibility tough for riders and spectators. But credit to everybody, people stayed in good spirits and kept it rolling. Racing picked back up at 1 o'clock after everybody had finished grabbing lunch. It was pretty casual energy all day, nothing too hectic, but once the races started, everybody snapped back into race mode. By then, most of the crowd had settled in, probably about 100 people in total. You had racers, families, and friends hanging around the pits, watching the action, cheering people on, and catching up in between races. The wind was still kicking, but it didn't really seem to slow anything down. There was a printed race schedule with 20 different classes, organized by bike size and rider age, and they did at one point have an intended order, but as the day went on, they didn't exactly stick to it. A few classes ran out of sequence, which made it tricky to keep track. You really had to pay attention to what was going on at the game. This wasn't the kind of event where you could just sit back and wait for your class to be called. If you weren't staying alert, you'd risk missing the race. One of the cooler highlights from the day came from Suron USA. They set up a booth right next to ours, and we got a chance to check out one of just 8 Cirrus Edition Suron Ultra Bs. This thing was wild. Super clean build, totally custom, and easily one of the standout electric bikes at the compound. It was definitely something that drew a lot of attention throughout the day. Steve Skirvin, one of our own mechanics from Vickery Motorsports, was out there racing alongside his son, Steve Skirvin. It was awesome seeing the two of them lining up together, repping the shop, and getting after it. Steve entered the Sportsman and 40-plus classes and brought 2 bikes to the line, one stock and one fully modded, which added a little bit of variety to the day. Steve rode smooth and consistent in his first moto, placing first in the 40-plus class with a strong, clean performance. In his second moto, he ended up going down, but still managed to finish things out and keep the energy up. Steve did not make any podiums this round, but his son Steven placed first in the 10-inch open class. Both held their own in some seriously competitive heats, so credit to both of them for showing up, staying focused, and representing Vickery Motorsport on the track. All in all, this is exactly the kind of event that reminds you why the grassroots pit bike scene is so fun. It's not just about results. It's about the community, the energy, the unpredictability, and the people who keep coming back every round. Yeah, the wind made things tough, but it didn't stop the races, and it definitely didn't kill the energy. If this first round is anything to go by, the rest of the season's gonna be something worth showing up for. Huge thanks to the Cordova family for hosting the event and putting in the work to make this series possible. The track, the organization, and the atmosphere were all on point, and it's clear how much heart they've put into building something for the pit bike community. Big shout out as well to Factory Mini Bikes for stepping up as the main sponsor. Support like that goes a long way in helping events like this grow and keep the scene alive. We appreciate everything you're doing to back the riders and keep the momentum going. Before we wrap up, we've got a closer look at the action from a rider's point of view. We had a helmet cam rolling during Steve Skirvin's second race of the day, and the footage gives raw, real-time perspective from right inside the pack. This race had a little bit of everything. Tight corners, mid-pack battles, and a crash that Steve managed to bounce back from and still finish out strong. You really get a feel for the intensity of the racing out there and just how fast things can change once that gate drops. Alongside that, we also caught up with the Cordovas and one of the other riders out at the compound for a quick interview. We wanted to get their take on the day, the track conditions, and what keeps them coming back to events like this. These are the kind of insights that don't always make it to the result sheets, but really speak to what the scene is all about. So after we finish rolling through some of the highlights, let's check out Steve's race footage and hear from some of the people who helped make this round what it was.
fucking killing it on that one, dude. Go, bitches.
Steve, are we running the Sportsman backwards? Forwards?
Are we doing the straightaway?
And then you're doing the straightaway, right?
I think so.
For 3 laps?
I think so. Ask Tony. Those guys know there's no jumping, right? Okay. I'll DQ him. I'll watch him.
Dustin Paul, and he is the winner of the Mad Dog category today. So tell us a little bit about the race. How was the track?
The track is awesome. Anthony and his dad did a great job with the track out here. It's super fun, little technical, and it's a lot of different stuff out there. So it's a good track.
Perfect. I'm imagining you were feeling pretty comfortable out there, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Any competitors that you were looking out for especially, or kind of just general competition?
General competition, you know. I took a couple looks back and had people right on me, so it just made me focus on hitting my marks and going where I need to go and not look back anymore.
Perfect. Do you plan to go to the next race in this series?
Oh, definitely, yeah, I'll be back for sure.
Perfect. And what will you be racing in those?
I'll be racing the Mad Dog class again and Sportsman. The Sportsman class is super fun because we're not allowed to jump at all, so
okay, cool.
It's super fun.
Perfect. Well, it's very nice interviewing you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And hope to see you around.
Awesome. Have a great day, dude.
You too. So we are here with
Tony and Anthony.
Cordova. The owners of the Cordova compound.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So tell me a little bit about your racetrack. How long have you been doing this?
It's our 3rd year pit bike racing out here. Yeah, I just try to do something for the kids and people that can't race the big bikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you hold a lot of races here?
We try to do like 4 or 5 a year. It's our first one this year. But yeah, try to get most of the local people out here and yeah, a lot of kids.
And I know you race, right?
Yeah.
And what class do you race in?
I race 12-inch pro, open pro, 10-inch open, adult e-bike, 12-inch mod, 12-inch stock. I race them all.
Perfect. What is your favorite class to race?
My favorite class would probably be the adult 10-inch, but right now I'm really liking the e-bike, so e-bike might be my new favorite.
Do you race on a Suron?
Yeah.
And what model is that?
I race on the new 2025 Ultra V.
Perfect.
So much fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure being here.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you coming out and taking pictures and stuff.
Of course.
That's cool.
All right.